Hey everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Smashified. I am Omni, and with us today is Chris.
Hey.
Sean.
Hello.
And Nathanael.
And me.
And you are looking at the next character, which was not a very well-kept secret, except for some somewhat misleading hints
on
Twitter.
Stares at Chris.
We're going to talk about that. But yeah, Dixie Kong. This is a character that is the first character we've done that is a second character in the same franchise that we've already done in the past. So K. Rool was done already, and now we've got Dixie. So here it is. And it's one of the more requested characters at this point now that a lot of the really, really big hitters are out of the way, like Shovel Knight and things like that. Dixie is definitely one of the ones close to the top, so we definitely had to do it. And it was a fun challenge, it seems. I wasn't as involved in this one. It was mostly Sean and Chris, so they're probably going to be the ones talking the most in this one. But looking at the sketch right now, I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here. A lot of iterations on the ponytail. My gosh, I was trying to figure out how to compose that because it's a lot of hair, and trying to make a good silhouette is kind of difficult. But now we're looking at Chris doing some paths.
Woo.
And
It's beautiful paths.
Not really. They're okay.
Yay Photoshop. Yay vectors. I love me some vectors.
They're beautiful to me. They save so much work.
Yeah.
While we're at it, Sean posted on Twitter, what was the exact quote? I don't remember exactly what he said.
Oh, here we go.
It was, there's a little bit of blue mixed into this.
No, you said a lot. You said a lot of blue.
Oh, a lot of blue, my bad.
So, you want to clarify what you meant by that?
Yeah, before
and how
the
Painful
fans,
Psi works? Because
before the fans killed
I
me on
didn't
that.
know. And I was confused also. I was like, guys, I don't understand. Why? How is
Are we
that
doing
true?
the same character here? But
Are you working on the right character? This is Dixie, right? You have been working on Dixie, right?
But basically, to explain on that, I actually used some blue right there for the green, for the shadows. But
there's your blue.
Yeah, there's the blue, selling the blue right there.
Dee-dubba-die.
But like before I started getting into digital art, I was mostly like a heavy traditional painter. So I tried to bring those techniques over to the digital world. It's mostly with colors these days. And what I did with the pink, which you'll see later on, maybe you'll see it. But there's a little palette thing with Paint Tool Side where you can kind of just dip colors together in a palette, kind of mix them around until you kind of get the colors
like
that you want.
real paint.
Yeah, like real paint. Like Paint Tool Side.
Yeah.
Oh my
so people who actually understand how mixing pigments work, you actually have to mix colors to get other colors. You don't just you don't get to pick them from a weird color selector with like the entire rainbow on it, plus all of the values and saturations. It's kind of crazy.
Old school.
Yeah, it's super old school.
Crazy.
Traditional paint mixing. So there's that. To get pink, you need blue, and there you go. Problem solved. Explained. There you go. But that's just a theory.
An art theory.
No.
Thanks
Stop
for
it.
watching.
Stop it.
It's not even
Stop
a theory.
So,
As we get a content strike.
A color theory.
leave us alone, Matt Pat. We don't mean any harm.
We love you.
What are we even talking about anymore? How about Dixie Kong?
This tied off t-shirt thing, I ended up doing a lot of photo research to figure out what the heck is actually happening with a shirt like that, because I was under the impression that you kind of just like took a regular t-shirt and like bunched up the bottom and then tied it into a bow, but people actually like cut shirts up a bit to actually create these two tails in the front, and that's what they're actually tying in the front, which I did not know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, so learn a little something there.
So that's cut, huh?
Yeah, it's cut. Or at least in
painted
theory.
it. You should have known.
And then the fun part
was kind of
the fun
with the
part.
shirt. Oh yeah,
Lots
the
of
fur.
You learned from Banjo, and now you're reapplying everything that you learned in Banjo's video that you did.
So if Dixie Kong got angry, would that make her furious? I'm
Get
gonna
out.
get kicked out of this
He's
group.
here
Get out of this
Get
commentary.
out.
I'm going to kick you out of Skype right now.
Should do the little ejected from call sound effect.
I wonder if you can get that anywhere. I'll download that and put that right there.
But
Does Dixie actually have fingernails? That's a question that I wanted to ask.
That
I think I remember seeing her having some. Let me look.
Well,
Does
the reason
Diddy
I've
have
had
fingernails? That's the
'cause-
question.
Yeah, Diddy has
Diddy
them,
does,
and
yes.
the Smash renders at least. I'm
Yeah,
not
he
sure
does,
has
but
them
Donkey
other
Kong
ones.
doesn't because he's a freak of nature.
Well, they are
Yeah, I found
technically
that weird
different
about the
species.
wizards.
Yeah, she had fingernails. She had
Cool.
weird painted fingernails and
It's,
stuff.
isn't it just super reassuring that we're asking these questions now instead of before?
Yeah, we did our research.
Quality assurance.
Because I'm sure people will be asking about that. But that's
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
trying to match that Smash style. We gotta be pretty close to it. So we had to add
Yeah,
fingernails.
that was one thing we were talking about a lot, was just making sure it kept up to the quality of Diddy Kong, because they're pretty much, like, they're pretty close characters.
Yeah, there's
So-
a lot of parallels between the two characters as far as like their physique is concerned. I mean, they were made for each other from a game design standpoint and a character design standpoint. So it's important that they line up. And actually, compositionally, we wanted the pose to actually interplay with Diddy's pose as well. So if you put the two together side by side, they kind of just they go well together. They coordinate. So that was one of the things we wanted to do. This golden hair, though, I was as I was editing this video, watching the process.
Thank goodness for Tropical Freeze, because they did a wonderful job of rendering it, and I just had to recreate it. Which wasn't
The
that hard at all.
ponytail, I imagine, is also pretty difficult because, like, getting the gesture of your stroke right to make the flow of the hair consistent, that's really difficult to keep up.
Why do you have to imagine it was difficult? You did it.
Well, no, I'm just explaining to the viewers,
Right.
He wants you to imagine its difficulty. As he does it.
Now, fun fact about this: I never painted or drawn feet much before,
Oh, really?
so that's
Oh, yeah.
really subconscious at this point. So
Especially the bottoms of feet. You don't really deal with, like, the
Yeah.
sole of a foot that often. Do feet have soles, or is that just shoes? Like,
Yeah, they have
big
some-
okay.
foot.
Just making sure.
They have souls. They're
I'm not
living people.
living
too.
my life incorrectly.
Some more fun hair part.
Yeah, I think the fur is what took you. the
Yeah,
longest.
fur is definitely time consuming, I think.
It is, especially with there's a lot of details with the Smash renders. Like there's strands, you got to try to replicate that, so it adds a lot more time to it. But
Yeah, plus there's a lot of variance, like they actually try to make the hair kind of cluster in certain ways, so it's not just like a consistent hair flow. There's a lot of inconsistency, I guess you would call it. Variation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing some tests for a future Smashified character, and it includes hair. And I've noticed that, like, on the original Smash renders, the hair variation is so different throughout the whole like every section's different. Like they really tried to make it feel like each section's like crazy different. Like the parts that are pressed up against the character, like it looks like it should be real.
Right.
They actually try to make it make sense in space, and like the different parts of a person's body. Like if you look at animals, like if you look at a face, the flow of the fur is different than the flow on the limbs or on the body. So you have to be mindful of that.
I think that as far as the Smash renders go, I think the hair and fur are where it gets most complicated.
Yeah,
oh,
probably.
definitely. I'm actually really glad you stepped in and worked on the hair, Chris, because I was just like, oh god, this is a lot of detail.
I thought the fur had more.
Might have gone a little bit faster if you were working at the same time. We were kind of a linear process this time. It wasn't like the Inkling.
Yeah. This was also Sean's last piece before he went off to grad school. He's leaving us. My little boy's grown up.
We finally got rid of him.
We finally got rid of him.
He's not leaving us per se. He's just going to be less active for a while.
I'm a big boy now. Yay!
Really like how this hand turned out. That palm. It was a really good job.
Thank you. Like I was very conscious about that. I think that was another part that took a long time, because like there was one thing that was throwing me off, and I was like, oh man, I gotta try to fix that. So I actually stepped back from it a little bit and then went back on it and fixed those parts. So it's details like that I try to like take a lot of time on just to make sure it's just right.
I was watching through this part while I was editing, and I thought it was interesting how the corner of the mouth kind of evolved. In the original sketch, you kind of see like the skin fold where that where your lip and your cheek meet that kind of folds over when you smile a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't really do it with Diddy. And I drew it in the sketch, but I see that you kind of ended up just dropping it, which I think was the right choice. But it's kind of interesting how they render the mouths in this game. Yeah.
I hate to drop that detail, but it's just like they have a very particular way of like rendering certain things.
Yeah. Plus, like the way their mouths are structured does not really parallel the way real monkeys' mouths are. Like the relationship between like the snout area and their head, it's very disjointed. Like there's a clear disconnect. It's kind of like Sonic's little muzzle thing, which hedgehogs don't actually have. It's just kind of like
It's a creative choice.
His eyes that
there's
don't
a
even
flow
connect.
from the mouth area to the rest of the head. It's kind of smooth. It's not supposed to be this like hard line. Sonic's muzzle is like sculpted out of clay and then plastered on his face or something. I don't even know what's happening, but you kind of got the same thing here.
Sounds like torture.
Especially with like the connected eyes. There's actually a lot more parallels between Diddy and Dixie and Sonic than I was originally realizing, but yeah.
It makes me sad that we're almost done with the commentary already.
Talk.
Really?
The video's almost over.
Just talk about music.
Gosh.
Talk about music.
Yeah.
Talk about music.
Okay. Last 2 minutes. Here we go.
Quick.
So yeah, the original. I had so many different ideas to work on this, and I did multiple like full drafts of this, where I was going to do different approaches and everything. I was going to do either a very ethnic tribal feel, a very cinematic. Oh my god, it's already panning. No.
Hey guys. We're gonna have opportunity to talk more about this, but we'll talk about that later.
Ooh.
So you can look
yeah.
forward to that.
Wink, wink.
Little hint there.
Upcoming video. Here's Diddy. Dixie.
Look, there's my buddy Dix.
Oh god. You just had to say it, didn't you?
Had to go there, man. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you liked it, then you should check out all of the other videos and like us on Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media. They're all in the description, all that stuff. Whatever. You know, it's YouTube, guys. You know how this works.
You're so good.
This is what I say every
good.
time. There's stuff on the screen. Just do it.
Professional
There's stuff, it says
YouTubers.
things. Just follow directions, guys. It's not that hard.
You don't come prepared. You guys know what to do.
We'll see you guys next time.
How do I
Oh
use?
gosh.
What do I do?
What's happening?
Where do I click?
The fall of Omni.
Oh no.
And that was the last time we've heard of Sean, because Master School killed him.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Don't die. We need you.
So Sean's dying and Omni's dying. What's left?
Oh, I'm already dead too.
Hey,
Wow.
don't worry, guys. Daniel knows Paint Tool Side too.
He
Remember?
just died.
Yes.
He just died. You're leaving me by myself.
I'll teach you everything I know, Nathaniel. Live on.